During the IGLTA convention, attendees and delegates present their gay and lesbian travel product at a consumer trade show. This gives tour operators, travel agents, hotels, airlines, destinations, travel companies and the media the chance to test and promote their product to the intended market. Businesses can hire a table and drape the offering in printed or human paraphernalia. At the IGLTA Convention 2011, this took place just a block from Wilton Manors, the gayborhood of Fort Lauderdale. An evening event, this brought hundreds of local gay and lesbian people that also hosted entertainment throughout the evening.
I'm Ryan Haynes and welcome to the media trade show at the IGLTA, where we're going to find out what exactly is the state of the nation when it comes to the gay travel market. At the International Gay and Lesbian Travel Association, that happens every year. This year in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, United States of America, we get to find out exactly what tour operators, travel agents, destinations are doing to try to attract the gay and lesbian traveller. But I've been told to plug one thing. Maps. It's not all digital, or is it? We'll find out whether printed material or digital is the way to go during this series of the International Gay and Lesbian Travel Association 2011.
Doing It is Germany's oldest gay magazine for gay men, and I believe it's one of the oldest in the world. It's been running since 1969, nationwide, and also published in Switzerland and Austria, so all of German-speaking Europe. Audience that buys the actual printed paper is more like people in smaller towns or on the countryside where there's not such a lively gay boy scene, and it's more like grown-up men, I would say. Our publishing company, which has is the biggest in Germany, has IGLTA magazine, and IGLTA has been running for 26 years now. It has a circulation of over 50,000 just in the city area of Berlin. And it's a free magazine, and it lists everything that happens in Berlin, from parties to discussions to exhibitions and culture and everything. Lesbian magazine called LMAG. Comes out bi-monthly. It's called Queer Travel. This is the first issue. It's not a magazine on its own, but it's going to be inserted in all our magazines when it comes out. It comes out with a circulation of over 100,000 twice a year.
Do you feel that you're being affected by the whole move to social media and online? Because, if you're bringing out new print publications, it doesn't sound like print's dead. It seems like it's still possible.
No, print is not dead at all, I think. I still believe in printed paper, and I think a lot of people want to have something to hold on to and, to flip through it again, to put it, this IGLTA, for example, is famous to be in everybody's bathroom in Berlin. So they look at it 3 times a day throughout the whole month, and you don't do that online. And online comes very quickly, goes very quickly, whereas this stays, and we do have people who actually collect all the magazines. And when LMAG, for example, was still a free magazine, it wasn't as highly valued as it is now that it has a price. It's funny, but people think things that don't cost anything aren't worth anything. So ever since they have to pay money for it, they think it's better quality, and therefore they don't trust internet news and website things as much as they trust printed paper.
Brands have to realize is that if they solely depend on PR and social media to do their marketing, it will be the death of publications, of expert views and of expert publications. Journalists aren't getting paid as much as they used to be, therefore you're getting watered down editorial. If they're using PR to do that, one day there won't be a media for the PR to actually be in. So it's a vicious triangle.
But isn't it much easier anyway? With social media, you can manage social media, you can respond to people with social media, you're reaching the consumers who you want to reach directly and you know exactly what they're thinking about you and your product. Getting rid of the media doesn't matter to a marketeer. It's going to be so much easier if that didn't exist and only social media did, right?
Well, no, because marketing is about touching your consumers at every touch point possible. Social media is only one of those touch points. Social media does not rule a person's life, an accessory to their life. It's not part of what they do. So yes, I'm by no means saying that it's not important. It's extremely, extremely important. Even as a luxury publication like ours, which is solely on print, we still use social media to reach our customers. So it is important, but I don't think it's a replacement. And I think you will see, and we're starting to see consumers come back to print, come back to television, come back to radio, because not everything is interactive, and sometimes interactivity means an invasion of privacy as well.
Recently, we just started our Spartacus Hotel Guide website. The idea is that we actually wanted to get our users to different possibilities that they can practice. They can get inspiration and ideas about where to go on holiday at home using our website, which is basically accommodation and destinations. And when they get to the destination, they can use our iPhone app, which is coming out in June. We've been giving people information for the last 40 years, about which places are really gay and gay-friendly. There's a big problem, of course, for our readers and for anybody to decide, is this place really gay-friendly, or are they just after my money? So for companies like ours who've developed in this whole scene for the last 40 years, we are seen as a reference point, because we're the ones who are actually showing our users which are the gay properties and which are the ones we should really be supporting. I mean, on our website, for example, the gay businesses are listed at the top of the list. They're not. It doesn't have anything to do with whether they are spending any advertising budget. It's to do with the fact that they are gay and gay-friendly. So this is something we're going to continue in the future.
Those of us in the magazine business, social media really only answers part of our problem of how to survive and what kind of product we're producing. And we are evolving as we speak in terms of the way we interact with content and the way we consume content. And I think it's very, very fragmented. So we have a big demand for a high-quality printed publication, and that's one group of people. And then we have demand for an interactive virtual publication, which is our website. And then we have yet another readership in our digital magazine, and then another readership that is attracted to our social media, our forums, and quick response. But I don't think that is actually a readership. I think it's a group. Well, to have a trusted and a curated point of view is very important. There's a lot of babble out there, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of uninformed opinions, and social media has empowered a lot of people that have nothing to say. So it's important that in amongst all of that, we find the people that do have something to say and that can be relied upon. In my experience, those people often come from a print background, and they're merely diversifying into online platforms.
How much is print so important for gay and lesbian people in your country, perhaps compared to online medias for gay and lesbian people?
Well, it's what we started back in '94 as an online publication, and for years and years we were the only ones there. And at this point, it's really exciting to see all these local websites and small publications in all over the country. I mean, you go to the Amazon, and there's a very popular local website covering the local scene, and you go to a small town like Natal, and there's a very vibrant website, well, very local, and it's something they probably don't make money out of it, but you see all these people trying to build their own community over there. So it's brilliant what's going on all over the country.
Because you originally started as an online publication before you went to print. Why did you move into print?
It has always been a dream, because online it has always been much easier to you don't need to pay the print company to buy paper, all this kind of, and to be distributed in a huge country such as Brazil. You have to send magazines we all over the country have to send magazines to this small town in the Amazon. So it's not it's not cheap, it's very expensive. So it took us years. It has always been a dream. So it took us years to get to a position where we could make it. So we had to invest during almost 3 years. Countries, Brazil, India, China, where finally people are getting money to buy magazines. So they're buying magazines for the first time. So the editorial, the print market in Brazil raised almost 13% last year, when in the rest of the world is very it's definitely a decline of people buying magazines and newspapers, and that's not happening in Brazil because of this. There's this new middle class coming and starting to buy, very excited because they're buying magazines for the first time. So there's all these magazines made for this new middle class.
What's important about how gay and lesbian people actually read and find out about new destinations and places as a writer yourself?
Well, I think gay men and lesbians go to all different sources for their information. I think, people, obviously, we're reading the gay magazines, so in the UK we're looking at Gay Times or Attitude or Diva or whatever it might be. Then we look online, we get lots of recommendations from our friends, we read the broadsheets or the trashier papers if you want to. So there's lots of different ways that we're getting our information and making decisions about where we're traveling. And I also think as queer people, we're always looking for the hot new destination as well as having our kind of comfortable favorite. So, I have lots of gay boy friends who will always go back to the Canaries or always have a little sneaky weekend in Sitges or whatever in the summer. So, as well as carrying on with our traditions, we're always looking for new experiences as well. And I think we have to look beyond just the gay press for that inspiration. I think social networking is fun. It's immediate. It's snappy. It's like, you can reach a lot of people very quickly, but it vanishes in thin air. And I think that it's great for what it is, but I'm particularly interested in new media and new media's role in that. And social media is part of that, but it's not the full picture of what's going on. When I say new media, I mean the kind of things that you're doing, Ryan, but I also mean podcasts, videocasts, blogging, and I think there are a lot of really great quality journalists that are reinventing or harnessing the power of new media and using it to their advantage, and I find that really exciting. So people that have some kind of profile, authenticity, and a kind of a strong voice and a good brand, for want of a better word, so that people, when they write or speak, that people actually want to hear what they have to say, that they're being real, authentic, quality.
The International Gay and Lesbian Travel Association this year has been talking a lot about social media, and the press today have been talking about new media. Where does Bump sit within that?
Actually, Bump fits right in between both categories. We produce a series of gay and lesbian travel apps that are available for the iPhone and BlackBerry. Each guide is a different destination. They're available on iTunes and BlackBerry App World. They're a curated listing of hotels, restaurants, events for each destination. But in them, there's also a social media component where people can rate and actually comment back on each destination. So if we go through the comments and most people dislike them, we can easily take them out and replace them with another establishment. From in a very strange way, I think that it's very important to engage in social media, but at the end of the day, it's a conversation, and it's often in a very closed network. So in Facebook, you're part of you mostly go to Facebook to talk to your friends. So it's important to build relationship with tastemakers, with people with lots of friends. So you get them to talk about your destination, your product, anything, and then you have them talk about it, and then their friends will relate to it, and then you increase exposure that way. It's the old word of mouth.
Yeah, because I was speaking to Amy LeMay and
Check the next episode to find out what the marketeers were saying about social and traditional media.